Hi everybody, this is Kendrick from Providence Tarot. I am now going to just do like a general new moon reading, I guess. I did one today for YouTube. But now I'm going to do one for my IGTV. But I'm doing it on my personal account that's kind of related to Providence. It actually is related to Providence because I'm half of Providence. But this is my sort of artistic page, which is infused with spirituality as well. I have a food page. It's called The Tongue Pop. So if you want to go there and see any of the culinary delights that I created or made, rather, you can go there and see it. My NYC Kendrick account is kind of like what I do just kind of day to day. It's like my primary account. It has a lot of fitness, a lot of body. It's got a lot of cultural things that I do in New York City, you know, with friends and just me at home. You might see my dog there, that type of thing. But Kendrick NYC is where I put things like you know, the creative aspects of my life that go a little bit further into me, I guess. Maybe I'll give you more of that to kind of like really set it aside from the other accounts that I have, or more so NYC Kendrick. Alright, you guys, so you know I'm a Libra Sun, Cancer Moon, Libra Rising. I have Mars at 0 degrees of Virgo. Mercury is at 19 degrees of Virgo. And I have Jupiter in Sagittarius at 6 degrees, as well as Uranus. So the planet of expansion, luck, and fortune is in the same room, in the same house, with the planet of surprises and you know, thinking differently, and the planet that rules, you know, astrology and physics and things like that. I also have Neptune in Sagittarius, so this is really going to a place of spiritual involvement, right? Dissolving those boundaries. So anyway, at the bottom of this deck, actually, I have Saturn in Scorpio. And that is still in my first house at the very end. So at the bottom of the deck, this is the Justice card. So this is really talking about fairness. It's talking about relationships. It's talking about balance. It's talking about contracts, bonds, divorces, beauty, food and culture, the arts. Things like that. Also rules, guidelines, things like that. Working within comfortable confines, but not necessarily being confined, because when you're able to be objective, then you're not really confined to anything, right? Because your objectivity will change at any point, I guess, right? That's what I'm thinking. So let me just lay some cards out. You know, this is, I kind of do this for like promotion. You know, next weekend I will be giving readings at Aum Shanti on East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. The address is 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues in New York, in the Village near NYU area. I'm still talking. Let me go ahead and lay out some cards. I'll do an abbreviated spread, maybe. Yowza. Pretty good. So, Let's see. Wow, okay. Ooh. You just got like all the Libra, all the Venus cards, y'all. Okay. Damn. This is so crazy. So crazy. All right. You know what? I cannot continue without laying out the bottom layer because I have to see how this turns out. You don't even know what cards came up, and I'm like, I need to see a little bit more because this is so crazy. So whoever this resonates with, you know who you are. Gotcha. Okay. Let me just look at these for a minute and see what the deal is going to be. Oh, but sorry, I didn't even really finish that thought about my readings at Aum Shanti. I'll be there on Saturday nights from 5 to 9, and then I will be there on Sunday morning from 11:30 to 3:30. That's next weekend. And today is the 9th, so the weekend following that date, 9th of September, is today. So at the top of the reading, in the ascendant position, let me drink some tea. It's got ginger and all kinds of stuff in there. Four of Swords. So this is talking about the ability to be quick thinking and make decisions in terms of how you are relating to yourself. It's Jupiter in Libra, so it's expanding yourself through your relationships, or you're expanding the way that you are conceptualizing what's fair, and you are allowing yourself to get to a place of quiet so that you can ascertain yourself in your spiritual enlightenment. Exactly, that's what it is. So things are starting to take shape, and you are starting to have these realizations of what is needed in terms of making something work within your new reality. Yes, Jupiter is talking about luck, it's talking about fortune, it's talking about growth, and growth in a rapid way. So you might be expanding the network of people that you are immediately involved with, but this is coming at a time when you are ready to receive this type of thing. You know, you aren't really ready to meet new people when you're in a place of mental conflict. And, you know, some of you are actually still in that place of not really understanding why something has happened, or when something is going to be over, that type of thing. I feel like there's some time that's, you know, it's time oriented, it's time sensitive almost even. In the Sun position, you have the Three of Swords, and that is Saturn in Libra. And Saturn in Libra is talking about the ability to identify with what is being taught. What are you learning from these karmic relationships that are actually expanding you, and the way that you see yourself in relation to other people now in this new phase that you're sort of in, because the fours bring about a sense of stability and a sense of knowing and you know, appropriation, that it can't be shaken, destroyed, or unsettled, right? So you're at a place of feeling settled in your mind. You're realizing that the sequence of events that have started in a scenario that deals with communication, concepts, perceptions, perspectives, and just your overall thought process, you're having these realizations of things that are taking shape, and you're starting to identify with a new viewpoint that you are making in terms of, you know, whatever your situation or circumstance is. It could be involved with a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. But this card is really just talking about heartache or a painful memory or a painful thought process that you want to be over. And in your moon, you guys have the Seven of Cups, which is Venus and Scorpio. Venus goes into Scorpio either today or tomorrow. Today is the 9th, tomorrow is the 10th, which is Monday, September 10th. This is a 7, so it's talking about the ability to really bring your focus into what your goal is so that you can be more efficient in making decisions and making choices and being able to identify what is going to fulfill you from an emotional standpoint, right? It's like you don't want to do something that you don't feel, right? Feelings that you don't feel is actually expressing who you are as a person. That's at 11:11. So you might be a little bit confused about which opportunities to take, or you might be a little bit thrown or a little bit taken aback by the responses that you might be getting or the reactions that you might be getting out of people. And they are causing you to kind of recoil or, you know, just be a little bit stuck in your feelings. You know, everyone will not respond and react the way that you want them to. So that just means that you're going to have to be able to ascertain a sense of making the right choice for you, because this is a conflict with an advantage here, right? The sevens are like you're still working with something and it's accumulated, so something is being materialized a little bit further, but there are some bumps in the road that come with that materialization process that you might be experiencing. And it's like you are seeing a lot of things accumulate in terms of making you happy, but you are not really sure which thing is going to make you the happiest, right? But I feel like it's just a little bit too much anxiety on your part. You really just want to keep your mind fixed on the goal. This is fixed water, being Venus and Scorpio, which is there right now. For you Libras out there, this is your second house. So this is talking about, you know, shared resources, you know, power, desire, your sexual drive, your sex drive. You might be, you know, you might be feeling a little bit withdrawn in a sense, because, you know, that energy of Scorpio is emotionally withdrawn. So you might be feeling that way just based on the fact that you've experienced and you are experiencing the Three of Swords energy. So you're getting a little bit of a discord or a bad taste in your mouth. So it's making you feel, you know, you're being a little bit more emotionally withdrawn. But it's like you don't want to cut yourself off like that, because then you won't be able to move forward, and you definitely won't be able to feel better, because now you're just marinating in this negative thought process that's stirring up emotions inside of you, when really you're just being taught a lesson by Saturn. Saturn is direct right now, so that's good, and it's in its own ruling sign. It's at home in Capricorn with Pluto. Pluto is talking about, you know, transformations and things like that. But let's get on with the rest of the reading. In the past, we have the Tower here, and the Tower is talking about the destruction of something, or it's talking about sudden changes. This is Mars, and Mars is the god of war. You know, this is fire, this is some sudden changes, right? Changes that are really going to be pivotal for you. It changes the course of something, and it could be a small change of course, or it could be a large change of course. But usually when it's the Tower, it's very noticeable, right? And if it's something that you were already anticipating, then that just makes it a little bit less harsh, or a little bit less catastrophic for you, because you were already getting yourself ready for, you know, being able to handle it mentally, right, with this card. It's 16, 1 and 6 is 7, so that's also talking about determination, right? You have to stay determined even when things don't go exactly the way you planned, or even when sometimes when one door closes, you know, another one opens, or when something is taken out of your life, it's there to make room for something else to come in. Speaking of coming in, you have the 8 of Wands in your present, which is communication coming in very fast, very rapidly. You're talking about maybe going somewhere or traveling or doing something, or maybe something is developing extremely quickly, you know, kind of not as anticipated, but it could be a very good thing for you. You know, Mercury is a fast-moving planet and Sagittarius is a fast-moving sign. So with this energy, it's like, whoa, it's so quick. And when you're thinking about 8, you're having the strength to be able to handle this energy, right? You definitely need to be able to keep this focus. It's like shooting arrows to really make a goal, right? You have your mind focused on something. Mercury is the mind, and Sagittarius is there to get to the finish line. So you really are asserting yourself in a way that's going to be very productive to you achieving your goal, whatever that is for you guys. I'm getting some of you actually might be seeing too many people. I don't know what that means, but you know, Jupiter and Libra is at the top of the reading. The Justice card is under the bottom of the deck. The Seven of Cups is here with all these decisions. The Three of Swords is here with like almost like not knowing who to spend your time with, not being able to break up your time enough for all these people or all these places that you need to be. You know, and the Tower is saying that there's going to be some destruction coming in. Something's going to bring a change to the situation. Maybe you might even be getting a lot of texts from a lot of different people, or maybe that social media is blowing up that way. And, you know, somebody might see something on social media that they may not like and or may not agree with, and that could be a problem for some of you. But for a lot of you, it really is a good engine to help you move forward with something that's going to really inspire you. You know, some of you are full of passion and excitement and overall tenacity, right? This is a sudden occurrence that happens that comes in and begins the new stages of something. What you are actually maybe physically doing. Maybe an opportunity is going to come for some of you in the form of travel, right? You might be able to travel somewhere. If you're part of a company, maybe, you know, they're going to take your division to the client's office, and it might be in another state, or it might be in a big city, or it might be in another country or something like that. You might be an artist, you know, Libra is very heavily in this reading at the very beginning. And you might be going on a trip with, you know, a group that you might be with. And for some of you, this could just be you're anticipating Libra season for some reason. It's really prominent at the top of the reading. And maybe you're just excited about these opportunities that are going to start to come in. Some of you are feeling like opportunities are just like bam, 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 hitting you. And that's a good thing. It's like whichever one you want to grab, you probably can do it and it'll be great. Now in the future, you've got the Devil, and this is, you know, it's a regression from the Tower that you had in the past, but they're both here in the same line. You know, both are dealing with spiritual growth. The Tower is being able to change something because you know that you need it, and sometimes the universe will come in and make that change for you. Now, the universe is coming in and making this change happen for some of you, but then some of you are still going to be holding on tight to something, because it's saying when we move on forward into the future, you're sort of like back to that place of having the of acknowledging that you're still kind of you still got your grip on something, or it's like you are focused on something that doesn't really need your time. You know, it's like you might be wasting time doing something that's not going to benefit you in the long run, right? So now you have a codependent relationship. and 1 and 5 is 6. So it's actually asking you to be able to see the harmony maybe in a struggle that you might be experiencing, because when we find ourselves tied to a codependent relationship, having the realization of how you can remedy that feeling, or come to a place of harmony within something that might feel codependent. It really is just talking about going through the process of appreciating everything, appreciating the good things and appreciating what the bad things are, or the negative polarity, or the shadow side of a situation, and trying to see through that darkness, right? By finding the light in the situation. You can always find light in the darkness, even when there's no candle around, because it's like when you have a positive outlook, and you have the intention to put the positive attitude out there, and inject it into the negative situation or circumstance that you might be involved in, then it can only get better from there moving forward. So this is saying you're going to have to put a lot of energy and a lot of elbow grease into really trying hard to make something work that might feel like it's not working, or you might have to just realize that you're staying tethered to something that you should realize you no longer need to be tethered to. Yes. That's what the Devil card talks about. People that are maybe not healthy for you or toxic, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's like Stockholm Syndrome. Like when you want to leave the toxicity, but it's like you keep revisiting it just because it's comfortable for you, or it's familiar territory. Right, because the Devil is a very territorial card. When you think about terrain and you think about acreage, that's with all of the earth signs. But this is definitely saying release yourself from something that is holding you back, whatever that is for you. So now in the anxieties, this is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is cardinal air. So then this is talking about Libra again. So this is really talking about a lot of relating, like a lot of relationships, how you're able to understand why someone might respond or react the way that they do to you, or why you may be responding or reacting that way to them. It really, it's hard for us to let go of our ego sometimes and just kind of go to a place of being fair to ourselves and fair to other people. You can always see a sparkle of light in someone, even if you might be very angry with them at any point, and that's the ability. That's a great ability to be very objective. It's a very intellectual state of being when you're able to let go of all of your inhibitions of the mind and inhibitions that your ego have set upon you, and allow yourself to see a situation clearly, thoroughly, and just really practice love, basically. That's basically what it's saying. And fairness, love, fairness, and peace. It's really speaking about peace as well. And you have anxieties about peace. You have anxieties about peace with maybe a female, or it could be a male. It could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But in this reading, it's giving heavy Libra energy. So it could be a Libra sun, moon, or rising here. Yes. So now in your will, which is basically your Mars position, you have Capricorn. And this is actually a good thing because Mars likes being in Capricorn. But this is more like Capricorn being, Mars likes being in Capricorn, basically. So those two energies really mesh well together. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and Capricorn loves to work. They like to keep their head down, and they like to keep moving forward. And, they consume a lot of things. And when Mars is there with Capricorn energy. It's you know, the drive is very insatiable, right? So you have this insatiable feeling to continue to build and continue to save and continue to be very practical. It's like you're determined to create a new sense of stability, and like it's almost like a great fortitude, right? And that's going to afford you a lot of stability because you are very strong. You have the endurance to actually get through this issue. Even though the Tower is here and the Devil is here, right? You do have some good cards around it. Oh, you also have the Three of Swords. We do, I guess. But you can definitely see past the situation. And, you know, in your advice, it's so funny because I knew the card was there, but I wasn't really having it correlate to what I was saying earlier when I was talking about, you know, love. So, in the advice, you have the Lovers. So the Lovers, your advice in the reading is saying that you need to be a little bit softer in the way that you allow yourself to, it's like an inner dialogue with yourself, right? Or inner monologue. Be kind when you're experiencing your thought process fully, right? You don't want to take the beauty out of a situation or circumstance that actually needs it. You know, it's not necessarily an artificial thing. It's actually something that is really needed. It's like sometimes relationships are thirsty for love, right? Sometimes they are. And it's because sometimes the love gets drained out of relationships sometimes. Just because of all of the things that happen the day to day, you know, like relating to people, being able to understand yourself, trying to understand other people and their needs and what they want, what you want, what you need, what's right for them, what's right for you, because what you want, what you need, and what's right for you are three different things. You know what I mean? So it is always going to be a continuum of having these self-discoveries and then reinitiating these acquaintances that we already have established with each other. Yeah? So it's like a cycle that has to continue to, you know, unfold and, you know, invert itself and all of those things. The sixes are talking about moving on to a more harmonious state. It's the appreciation for the fact that you actually do have someone that is on your side and is on your team and does want the best for you, and you do want the best for them, and everyone does want to get along because that's what lovers do, right? And that's the advice. Maybe you guys should do something with your hands, you know, go somewhere and maybe make pottery, maybe you could knit something. And I'm saying like, or go like have a cooking class or something like that, you know what I mean? Because food is love, and food is like a very soulful experience, right? Because I go very deep when I talk about food because I'm very heavy into culinary. But do something like that, you know? Do something when you have to use your hands, maybe when you're producing something, you know, you might be taking that cooking class, or maybe you're going to like an art class and you're painting, and if you don't know how to paint or draw, then that's actually putting more fun, excitement, and, you know, love into your relationship, right? You want fun, you want excitement, you want love, you want culture, you want art, you want, what else do you want? You want it all, don't you? But the thing is that you can't have it all the time, right? There's an ebb and flow to everything. You just got to remember to repurify things, right? It's like we go to school and we learn through different stages in our life, and then we go to college and then we get a job, you know what I mean? And we keep things going like that. Business changes, you know, you've always got to repurify, rebranding, all of that stuff. It's almost like rebranding your relationship, right? Businesses have to go through rebranding. You got to take a shower every day to recalibrate your body and get yourself clean. You've got a, you know, it's a Virgo new moon right now, so it's really talking about the processes of things and how you can be, how being productive and having a routine process that you practice daily will actually get you to the goal of feeling successful and being productive and having things conclude in a positive way and being able to go on to the next project. But it's like the routine of things, how we treat each other is a routine practice. You know, it's hard to be able to be, you know, a mom, a dad, a teacher, a mentor, you know, a cook, a chef, you know, a nanny. It's hard to be all of those things, you know what I mean? So sometimes we just have to give ourselves a break and give the people around us a break, because everybody really is just trying their best, and nobody wants to hurt anyone or make anyone feel unappreciated or you know, insignificant or anything like that. And that was my take on the Lover's card. Now let me give you your last card. It's the Nine of Pentacles, which is talking about, you know, the aspect of Venus and Virgo. Venus literally just left Libra and went into Scorpio, either today or tomorrow. Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo. Mercury's in Virgo right now. I have to see what's in Libra, but this card is talking about being comfortable in your natural setting, right? And that natural setting is something that takes a process that is routine, that creates a sense of satisfaction that you can, you know, marvel at. You can appreciate things that you have afforded yourself materially, and you can appreciate the people that have stuck around, you know, all this time, you know, whether you are married or whether you're single and you have friends, or, you know, you have family close by or something like that. And if you don't have family close by, this is the ability to connect with them instantly in any type of way that you choose to, right? Whatever your format is. But this is saying that you are really going inward and you're making an assessment of the things that you have done and the opportunities that you've created for yourself, what you've been able to manifest. You're appreciating pets, those types of things, because it's the little things and the little details that add up, that make up our daily life, that we really look to satisfy us in the end, right? At the end of the day, you really are coming back home to everything that, to everyone that loves you, right? You're coming into your space, you're appreciating that, you can take your shoes off, you can have a seat, you can feel good about the work that you've done for that day. This is a card of satisfaction, and it's one of prowess, right? It's effortless. This is having things sort of fall into place, and you have a sense of balance, you know, but it's natural balance. It's not forced. And that's what routine brings, a natural sequencing of balance. You know, and it's causing you to have these epiphanies about like why and why, how, when to appreciate and to show appreciation. It's really hard to keep ourselves in check, but everyone is trying to do that. You know, you guys might be waiting for something to sort of pass over That's ironic, isn't it, Passover? Huh. Or is it Rosh Hashanah? I'm sorry to anyone out there who practices Judaism. I get my holidays mixed up. Yes. So definitely seek balance within your relationships. That way you'll be able to expand within your relationships. I know that you guys are waiting for a time-sensitive issue to, relieve itself or reach a state of calm. You guys are very anxious about all the opportunities or what to do about, emotionally satisfying yourself. This is talking about a disturbance in the past that you might have been aware of, or one that you have now taken action after experiencing. And because you've done that, you've been able to create these opportunities of communication and goal-oriented inspiration. It's kind of like you are inspired to rethink your goals and reassess what they mean to you. But that's going to bring about more opportunity too, because once you initiate communications, then you've got the ball rolling, right? That's definitely change. Let go of unhealthy attachments, even if it means that the thought process is your unhealthy attachment, right? You might have an attachment to your unhealthy thought process. Don't be afraid of communicating and being clear in your communications and really speaking your truth. And do it logically, do it objectively. You're intelligent, so you don't have to have anxieties over being able to communicate well. Just communicate from the heart, right? Because all the queens have a little bit of water in them, and that deals with, empathy, intuitiveness, nurturing, wisdom. Really work hard for what it is that you believe in, and really try to keep your eye on the prize. Keep focused on your goals. You know what I mean? You haven't gotten this far to let something, destabilize you. The advice: definitely seek more harmony within your relationships, even if it means that you have to swallow your pride and do something. It's not necessarily apologizing when there's no apology needed. It's just saying that you want to do something to show that you can appreciate somebody a little bit more, even if it means just cooking a meal or going out and hanging out and doing something together that involves your hands, maybe. Could be food oriented, because Gemini rules the arms and the hands, and Virgo, which is also ruled by Mercury, rules the intestines. So you're making food, you're eating it, and you're processing it through your body. That could be something that people find fun, right? Cooking classes. And, once you've done all of that work, you're going to be able to appreciate the fact that you have, you've materialized a thought that's benefiting you. It's making you feel good, satisfied. There's a sense of attainability, almost reaching completion. Okay, you guys, this is a long video, and I was just doing it for IGTV and to promote, myself and Providence Tarot. And if you guys want to get a reading with Dale and I both, email providencetarot@gmail.com. If you want to get a reading with me, my name is Kendrick. You can email providencetarot@kendrick@gmail.com. We are on Instagram, obviously. This is Instagram. We're on Instagram as Providence Tarot. Dale is at Blue is True with 2 T's, and I am at NYC Kendrick. I'm also at Kendrick NYC, which is this page, and I'm also at the Tongue Pop. If you want to look and see any of my culinary creations, I'm in New York City, for those of you who are wondering. And you can see both of us at Aum Shanti Shanti. My dog's growling now, she's a pug. Aum Shanti Shanti at 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. Dale is there on Fridays. You can actually DM him probably to see what time he's there on Fridays. It could be morning or evening. I am there next Saturday. What's today? Today is the 9th. Monday is the 10th. Friday has to be the 17th. Wait, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, Monday is the 14th. Friday is the 14th. Saturday is the 15th and the 16th. So I'll be there on Saturday the 15th in the evening, 5 to 9. And then I will be there on Sunday in the daytime, 11:30 to 3:30. Sunday is the 16th, I believe. And if I'm wrong, please check it and correct me. Alright, everybody. Now that the vacuum has started, I'm going to leave you guys. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Again, I'm Kendrick. My business partner is Dale. We are Providence Tarot. And we are in New York City.